Good evening, everybody. I just want to welcome you once again for our weekly updates of what's going on in Egypt on behalf of Skyline Tours here in Egypt. Well, this week we thought of giving you an idea about what's going on in the pyramids area, because I'm sure you've heard about it. There are some major changes for the way of touring the pyramids of Giza. So it is a great concern. It's a great opportunity, but it's also a great concern of what's going on, especially it's something that didn't happen before. You know, this is an aerial photograph of the pyramids area. And if you look at it on your right, you can see the Great Pyramid of Cheops. That's the one on the pyramid on the right. And actually on its right-hand side, you can see this triangle shape and a road leading up to it. This was the classical entrance of the pyramids. We used to enter the pyramids from this area. And actually the green you're seeing on the right-hand side of the photograph is actually the golf course of the Mina House, which is not there anymore. The golf course is not there anymore. But this used to be the classical entrance for the pyramids area. We used to enter from the Mina House entrance, which is just around this area over here, go into the Great Pyramid, then to the second pyramid, the one on the left-hand side, the one of Khafre, and then the third pyramid, the one on the left-hand side of Menkaura. Then we drive back and we drive in between the first and the second pyramids. We go down. If you look on the left-hand side corner of this photograph, you'll see the Sphinx. That's where we used to go, to the Sphinx. And then we came out this place over here and we left the area. That meant we can do a tour starting from 75 minutes up to 3 hours, whatever we like, you know. But now this whole thing is changing actually, because this entrance from the Mina House has been closed off for normal tourists. It's going to be open later on at the end of this year with in combination with the Grand Museum. It's going to be a special tour which combines the Grand Museum and the Pyramids tour itself, and it's going to be done by electrical electrical cars and so on from the museum over an overpassway, and I mean that leads to the pyramids area and so on. But now the Giza pyramids area is changing into what you're going to see next is this photograph. This aerial photograph may show a little bit better, because again, you can see the three pyramids from here. And if you look on the very far left-hand side where the red line is, this is the new entrance now. So the new entrance is from Fayoum area, which means you enter from there and you go over those tracks over here. You can see you have more than one option. You actually have 7 different routes. At the moment, they've managed to come down to, if you have more than 25 in your bus, 25 tourists plus, you'll enter with your bus and you'll do your tour in your own bus without a problem. Different travel agencies, including us, we are negotiating with them now to lower this number down. But at the moment, it's 25 plus. You'll get your own bus and you'll tour the pyramids the same way you used to do it, with your own bus, and you do the tour. If you're less than 25 at the moment, you have to come down from your bus and get into an electrical bus in that entrance over there on the far left-hand side, and then you start touring the pyramids. There are 7 stops that you can do in the Giza area. 7 stops. Whether you're touring with your own bus or you're touring in this electrical bus, everyone has to stop only at one of those 7 stops. You don't have to stop at the 7 of them, but you have to stop at one. You have to choose, when you go to the Pyramid of Menkaura, there is a certain stop place with a big sign on top of it, Pyramid of Menkaura, the 3rd pyramid, and you stop over there. You go to the 2nd pyramid, there is a sign. You go to the Great Pyramid, there is a sign, and so on. So you have 7 stops. You can choose between, you can combine, you can do the whole 7. But the main problem is that, especially if you're not doing it with your own bus, it's going to take much longer. This, in my estimation, at the moment, the least amount of time for visiting the pyramids, that's at least until July, is going to be 3.5 hours. So the the main problem, of course, this is not a big time for visiting the pyramids of Giza, but it's only if you're combining this with another tour, if you have another site, you know, to visit on the same day. So if you look at this also, this will explain it a little bit more, because actually you can see the three pyramids from the back over here, and actually the entrance is all the way to the far right hand side at the end. This is the Fayoum entrance, from which you will enter, and you'll go either to the panoramic view, which is somewhere on the far right corner, top corner of the pyramid. Behind it also, there is the sports area, as they call it, where you can get on a camel or something like that in that area, or a horse. And also behind it, there is the famous Nine Pyramids restaurant, which is a wonderful place for having breakfast or having a special meal over there. In between, just around the corner from the second pyramid, there is Khufu's restaurant, one of the finest restaurants now in Egypt, which is really very beautiful. And the good news is that in front of each pyramid now, there are cafes, there are small snack places. You have very decent toilets. For those of you who visited the pyramids, they will know what I'm talking about, because before there were no toilets, or actually very harsh. You really have to go behind the rock over there. So now you have very decent toilets. And let me show you this video quickly. As I'm not if you look at this video over here, I actually took it from one of the just a minute. It's one of the very famous video TV presenters in Egypt. This is the entrance of Fayoum now. This is where you enter from Fayoum. It's very decent. It's very large. There are so many booths, you know, for getting the tickets. Normally now, also one thing which is really great is that we have online ticketing. We can get the tickets online, so it makes it easier for us, you know, before we go on. Or you can get the tickets once you arrive using your Visa card, so it's much easier as well. Once you get your tickets, you go inside that area over here. After you go through the X-ray machines and so on, you enter into the area over here, where you can see you have this is the scanning area for the tickets. And then after that, you will go inside and you will see you have more than one diagram and different models of the pyramids, where we can explain, you know, as guides, we can explain to the tourists, you know, what's going on, and we can explain about the whole thing if we want to. What was there, what was discovered, you know, when it was discovered, and things like that. Give a good introduction, especially if you have a small number of tourists. It makes it much easier. Otherwise, normally the guys would explain in the bus before they get to the pyramids area. What's really interesting, I know it sounds cliche, but really, believe me, the toilets. You must look at the toilets and see the new toilets over here. They are very decent. They are almost hotel quality toilets, which is something for those of you who visited the pyramids, they will know exactly what I'm talking about. So very decent toilets. In the entrance area, they are for free. You can go in and use the toilets for free. It's no problem. There are ATM machines everywhere if people want to get some money. Once you go to the sites, once you go to the third pyramid or second or first pyramid, the toilets over there, there is a fee of 10 Egyptian pounds, which is nothing in dollars. It's about almost 2 cents, you know, for using the toilets. You can use credit card for it, you know, and use the toilets over there, which again are quite decent as well, you know, in comparison to what was there before, which is really a great plus. As I said, you're using the there is a lot of focus on the toilets actually in that program, but you go in, and then once you leave that area, you come to this stop where you are waiting for your bus. Normally buses can carry up to 40 people. There are, at the moment, there aren't enough buses, you know, electrical buses, so they are using still some normal buses. You go, your first stop normally, if you're just doing the tour, you're not doing the camels or you're not doing the restaurants, is going to be the panorama. You can see what I'm talking about. Look at the decent shops, the decent coffee shops. and they are overlooking the panoramic view. And I mean, they're really fantastic. If you have the time, I mean, that means you can really do almost like a full day at the pyramids. I mean, just spend time, very relaxed, just enjoy the view, sit at every site. I mean, especially in the winter time, it's really wonderful. You can overview, look at the pyramids from here. I mean, you can go all the way to the edge and look at the get a closer look of the pyramids. This is the classical view. This is actually the Christmas card photograph, as we call it, where you take a photograph of the three pyramids from a distance, where even the second pyramid in the middle looks a bit larger, but it's a bit deceiving. But those are the three famous pyramids of Giza, where you stop over there. At the moment, they have a small camel stop also over there, because that's quite classical, where people go on a camel and get their photograph with the pyramids of Giza in that area. Then you get on the bus again, and you go up to the third pyramid. And again, it's the same thing. There is a stop. You go to the third, or you go directly to the second, or you go up to the first, and then down to the Sphinx. And you have a choice either to get out of the area. At the moment, they are debating about that, whether we have to go back all the way back to the top again to get our buses, or we can leave directly from the Sphinx area. The bus can wait for us out there, and then we can leave to the outside. So it's, as I'm saying, it's still a trial phase, trial and error. At the beginning, they refused to get any buses inside. Then they said 40 plus, then they said 30 plus, then now it's 25 plus. So I think still a trial and error, because they want to achieve a goal, which it's a very ambitious, but we don't have enough electrical buses, because the UNESCO has been pushing us to actually do the whole Giza pyramids visit eco-friendly. So it must be done with only the electrical buses and so on, no gasoline, I mean, trying to minimize the pollution around the pyramids. Still, it's a trial and error. I think the image will be very clear for us, and we'll know exactly what we're doing and how it's done by the time we're opening the Grand Museum. As you know, the Grand Museum, there is going to be a huge international inauguration for the official opening of the Grand Museum. When King Tutankhamun Mosque leaves the Grand Museum, leaves the Giza, leaves the Tahrir Museum, and goes all the way to the new Grand Museum, Tutankhamun Mosque leaving Tahrir and going to the Grand Museum. This is going to be a big celebration on the 3rd of July. Actually, we are estimating 35 presidents, maybe including President Trump, coming to Egypt to see it, to be there in the opening of the official opening of the Grand Museum. They are even closing the Grand Museum for visits for that reason, especially from the 15th of June, to prepare everything for that grand opening. And by the 3rd of July, we will have the full experience of the Grand Museum being open completely, linking it with the pyramids. So the whole thing, I think, by mid-July, early August, the vision will be very clear for us about how we are going to do this tour. On the other hand, another subject I wanted to talk to you about, because Yasser here, our CEO, was talking to me about it, about what, as a travel agent, what makes it important to you to sell Egypt? Why should you sell Egypt tours? Because I've been thinking about it, and I think I came up with 5 good reasons for you, so to be selling Egypt, and selling Egypt with us, especially at Skyline. This is something that is important. Actually, I just wanted to say hello so you can see me while I'm talking to you. Actually, Egypt, the first reason is Egypt is always a unique selling point with a lot of growing demand, because It's really in the bucket list of everybody. It's an iconic destination that sets you, I mean, the everyone apart once you start selling Egypt. There is not a lot of destinations that can match its history, culture, and of course the world famous landmarks like the pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx, the Nile River in general. It's a dream for a lot of people, and of course now the $1 billion Grand Museum, $1 billion, the cost so far of the new Grand Museum. In general, there is a lot of growing demand on Egypt, especially since post-pandemic. Travel to Egypt has surged because a lot of people, if you think about it, a lot of Americans, especially, they became very interested in exploring Egypt for cultural, historical, and of course, adventure trips. But that's thanks to the media. They've been sitting at home for a lot of time, during the pandemic. So they've watched a lot of movies, historic documentaries, spotlighting, the wonders of Egypt. Number two reason is that we have very competitive pricing and great commissions. And also, of course, one thing which is very good for you as travel agents is that we have our fam trips for you, because that gives you a chance to see everything for yourselves firsthand, so you know really what you're selling. We have 3 fam trips for qualified, travel agents, and we would love you to take advantage of it, so you can really see firsthand what you're selling, know when you're selling it, exactly all details. You must understand that Egypt really offers a lot of luxury at a very affordable price. 5-star hotels, Nile cruises, and private tours are really priced way lower than European destinations, and even than Turkish destinations, than Tunisian destinations, and so on. In Egypt, we have very competitive prices for a really great luxury. In general, with that, travel agents can earn a very good commission while they are really offering their clients an excellent value. And again, I'd like to focus on the FAM or free familiarization trips for travel agents, because it would really give you a first-hand experience to confidently sell or market tours, while building trust with your clients. Number 3 reason for selling Egypt is that it's a very diverse travel experience. It's all year round, because you must understand Egypt is not just history. We have also the Red Sea resorts like Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada and Gona. We have desert safaris in Sinai, in Fayoum, in the Western Desert in general, Bahariya oasis, the Black Desert, besides the Nile cruises, of course. So in general, Egypt, was all this vast, different diverse travel experiences. It appeals to families, couples, solo travelers, adventure seekers, because also our weather allows tourists, to come all year round. Because if you want to enjoy cooler winter month, Egypt climates is really fantastic in the winter. Summer is a bit hot, but you can enjoy, a mix with the Red Sea resorts. So we have very flexible travel times that fit any tourist. You're not stuck to 2 months of the year, 3 months of the year, or anything like that. All year round, Egypt is open and welcoming to all tourists. Number 4 is actually the easy visa process and improved tourism infrastructure, safety. This is all very important because Americans get an entry visa upon arrival, or e-visa. We have invested heavily in new airports like the new Sphinx Airport near the pyramids. The old airport, near Heliopolis, has been improved. Many hotels, tourist safety. If you look into safety index, of the world, Cairo, believe it or not, was more than 20 million people, is one of the safest countries, safest cities around the world. And Egypt in general is very much invested in tourist safety, and there are a lot of tourist police around the sites and so on. So they really care so much for the tourist safety. Final reason is that it is repeated business and customizable packages, because means that those who visit Egypt, they want to return for more. So if we do a good tour, if you do a good tour, with us, people do come back more and more, and especially we can tailor any trip in, any way you like. So with those 5 reasons, I just want to emphasize something that we have an exclusive opportunity, and to partner with us because Mr. Yasser, our CEO, is sending me as a representative of Skyline to the US from the 13th up to the 23rd of May. I'll be available in the US, and I'm really very happy to be available to you to try to inspire your tourists, to discover Egypt timeless treasures. I would like to help you with that, I'm coming especially for that, so I can do educational and historical talks. If you got, if you'd like me to host engaging sessions for your team, for different clients, to share insider knowledge about Egypt history, culture, and must-see sites. I can do personal meetings as well. I'll be available from the 14th and 15th of May and 22nd, 23rd in New York. And I'll be available also in Salt Lake City from the 17th up to the 20th of May. So I can show you how we can support you, in Skyline with different tailored itineraries, competitive rates, and seamless service, really. Again, I'm going to offer and familiarize you with our free fam trips for agents to show you how we're offering those complimentary familiarization trips to Egypt for qualified agents, which is, again, is an incredible opportunity to experience that the magic of Egypt firsthand, so you can know and really be able to sell it. Of course, as you know, Egypt, you can combine it with so many other destinations. If your clients are more on the religious type, you can combine Israel, Jordan for a visit of the Holy Land. Nowadays, it's really amazing that you can combine even Saudi Arabia, which is open for visits as well. So coming to Egypt, you can combine so many other sites as well with Egypt, because definitely our tourism is thriving with the new museums, archaeological discoveries all the time. As you know, we keep discovering new things all the time. So definitely, I'll be emailing everyone, and please leave me your emails. I'll be emailing you more details about my visit to the US. And I'll give you my phone numbers for calls, WhatsApp, FaceTime, Telegram while I'm available there. I'll give you also my location. So I'll be more than happy to be in contact with you to help you with that. For the rest of this session, for the reminder time, I'd like to answer any questions you've got about what I just told you now. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Right. Please just send the signal, and we'll be more than happy to. The host will let you talk back to us. So you can ask about anything you want to. واحد صح.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Armel. I am looking at bringing a group of 20 people,
Yes.
and this is a Greek Orthodox church group. And when you are in the US, would it be possible to do a quick presentation about the value of visiting Egypt from a Christian side? They are definitely very excited, obviously, about the pyramids and the Nile cruise. We have the itinerary ready. we do have those 3 days where we are going to follow the footsteps of the Holy Family, as well as going to Alexandria because they're Greek. So would you be able to do a targeted talk to that matter?
This is great, Armel, because definitely Egypt is a wonderful site, for Christian visitors. And in Egypt here, we are really focusing at the moment about the footsteps of the Holy Family, because I'll be even trying to send you some of the work that is being done now, even in St. Catherine, the Holy Family place over there, where they are working on the site there is not is about the Holy Family. You must remember that it's a big belief in the Christian world that Jesus came to Egypt over here when he was very young, maybe a few months old, and he stayed in Egypt over here according to a vision by one of the Egyptian popes. He stayed almost for 3 years in Egypt here. And there are certain locations in Egypt which is believed very much that this is the resting place of the Holy Family, where Jesus and Mary, they actually stayed in that place. We have in Sinai one or two places like that. We have in the Western Desert places like that. We have in Cairo here. And because the tradition is that they came running away from Jerusalem, and they came through the Egyptian borders, and actually they went through the shores of the Mediterranean, and they came down to Cairo, and then they took the Nile all the way to Asyut, 500 kilometers south of Cairo, and then they retraced their footsteps out of Egypt again. So definitely they stayed in Egypt. Egypt is one of very few countries which is mentioned in all the what you call the Abrahamic religions. When we talk about Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Egypt is mentioned in the three books, of religion, of those three religions. So definitely, I'll be more than happy to talk about the Christian sites in Egypt over here. St. Catherine is a wonderful site, especially with Christian Orthodox, because it's a Christian, it's a Christian Greek Orthodox, because it's a Greek Orthodox monastery. And by the way, still up till today, that monastery holds the oldest icons in the world, because as you know, in the 5th century, there was the iconoclastic period, when icons around the world were destroyed, except the ones in St. Catherine. So it is still up till today in the library of St. Catherine Monastery, still has some of those icons up till today. And St. Catherine, by the way, the St. Catherine, the city where we are doing a lot of work in restoring it and so on at the moment as an Egyptian government, St. Catherine is believed to be the place where we have Mount Moses, where Moses himself was on top of the mountain there. And in St. Catherine Monastery, we even have a tree which is believed to be the burning bush, where God appeared in a big fire, to Moses. And the 10 Commandments were given to Moses on top of Mount Moses in St. Catherine. So definitely, I'll be more than happy to arrange with you. Please leave me your email. I'll email you, and then definitely I'll be able to contact you, and we can work something that would be really wonderful to be tailored, to your clients and talk to them and so on. So thank you very much, Armel. Any other questions?
Yes. Just to continue on St. Catherine, it is in Sinai, isn't it?
The St. Catherine is in Sinai.
Yes, Sinai. So, so we would be how how easy is it to get to this location from Cairo? Because it is not on the program yet, and we could either look at adding it, or we could look at doing a second trip to Egypt where we could focus on those sites again.
No, definitely you can add it, without a problem, because from Cairo to St. Catherine at the moment, it would be about 4 hours drive. And
all right, so it's going to be on. I absolutely think it would be fantastic. Great. I have been in communication with Noor, so I'll get back in touch with her so I can leave other people continue with you. But thank you very much. I'll post my email in the chat to Yeha.
No problem. I'll be more than happy to do that. Okay. Anybody else?
Sir.
Thank you.
Stella. على الشات بعد إذنك طلعها العرض كده مش هيشوفها ربنا وممكن تشوفها من الشات.
Someone is asking about, is Egypt planning to abolish the visa requirements following the example of Turkey? Actually, they've been talking about it, but it's still up till now, with 15 million tourists, and $25 per tourist. So it is still a good income to the Egyptian government. I don't see it happening very soon, but it can happen in the future, but I don't see it happening at the moment, very soon. Rumi is asking about if he can use some new insights and details. Definitely, I can do that, but I need to know what you've done already. So I'll be more than happy to provide you with new insights, no problem at all, تاني فوق. Someone is asking if I'm planning to visit California. Not on this trip, unfortunately, but definitely in the future we will do that. But not on this trip, unfortunately, due to the time and the ASTA convention in Salt Lake. So that's why I'm trying to be available for the biggest number of people, and we have a limited time over there. But definitely, California is definitely worth doing a visit on its own. On the west coast of the U.S. Where will I be on May 14th? I'll be in New York. I'll be available in New York. I'll be available in New York on May 14th. I'm in New York. So anywhere in New York, and I'm more than happy to do it. I was the 14th, I'm in New York. Miami or South Florida, not on this trip, unfortunately. This trip, I'm mainly coming to the US. I'm arriving on the 12th in the morning. I'll be available in New York 13, 14, 15. Then I fly to Salt Lake from 16th to the 20th. 21st, I'm back to New York because I've got some meetings on the 22nd, and I'm available on the 22nd and the 23rd in New York, and then I fly back to Egypt on the 24th. To send them on the footsteps of the Holy Family, definitely we'll do that. We will do a tour for you, on the footsteps of the Holy Family, and we'll send it to you definitely. When is our next Agent of Fem trip?
It's September, all of September.
We have the next trips, for the FAM trips this year. Definitely, we have some, and the next one is in September this year. It's got a cruise that is free accommodation as well. So it's not only hotels in Cairo, but we're offering also the cruise, the accommodation on the cruise for free. And you can find all details on our website. Please check our websites, and you'll find the fan trips on our website. Skyline Tours, Egypt. The website, I'm sorry, I got confused with the website. We'll put it on the chat now. We'll put it on the chat right away. Please, if you have any details that you'd like to know more about different groups, send it on our email, info. Info at Skyline, tours.com. This email we just put on the chat now. You can send it, and we will definitely get back to you. We're doing FAM trips every year. We're doing FAM trips every year, definitely. But our next one, and there's enough time, to get on it, is in September this year. Thank you. New messages.
List of the most luxurious night cruise, which they would be with. أكتر خريطة لللكجيريس نايل كروزز في مصر هتختار إيه؟ الاستاسيون دول
For the three most luxurious night cruises, this is a bit, question that is a bit tricky because if you ask me personally, as a guy who's been there in the market for 35 years, if you've got a group of 10 or 12, the most luxurious thing you can do for your people is definitely getting a dahabiya, a private tour on your own, where you don't have anyone with you, you can do your own tours, you can do your own time, so it's really fantastic. There's more than one dahabiya, which is unbelievable, it's fantastic, it's very luxurious. We can send you a list of them. We have our own cruise boat, which is very nice, but also if you want cruises which are very luxurious, of course, the Oberoi one is very luxurious, the Zahra Oberoi, this is a very luxurious boat. But it's very expensive. If you ask me, it's very expensive. And from a travel agent point of view, I think you can sell more to your people if it's, as I said, even if there are four and they want to get a dahabiya on their own, a private one, that would be more money value for them, and I think more commission for you as well. Because I'm sure they would enjoy it more than being on a cruise and just joining a group over there, without having their own private tour, private guide, and so on. But it's as I said, if you look into the Fila, the Oberoi Zahra, if you look into the Sonesta San George, those are two of the most luxurious, night cruises they have.
Another question for you, please. This is Ahmed. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What would be a unrefutable argument for me to use, in your opinion, for potential clients that are hesitant to go to Egypt due to safety concerns? Now, I've been to Egypt before, and I was in Egypt. I am French. My husband's American. We were in Egypt right before the US went to attack Iraq. So it was already a tense time, and I've always felt very secure. And your people was coming out of their way to express love and care. But what arguments do you have as an Egyptian company for clients that are not necessarily listening to me, the agent who wants to sell them something?
Look, Armel, it's the point of safety. It's, as I said, if you check the safety index, the world safety index, you'll find Cairo on one of the top places in the world as a safe city in comparison to its numbers. And of course, I'm talking about all the main areas. I'm not talking about going to the cemetery area in the middle of the night. But I'm talking about
yes.
But where tourists, would go. It is one of the safest places on earth. Concerning the condition in general at the moment, if you look into our history recently, or if you look into the recent events, you would find that there are no troubles at all in Egypt. In the last few years, there are no troubles at all. The main sites, are very secure. If you look at it, especially with foreign tourists, mainly Americans, Europeans, Australians, you get even a tourist police escort in the bus with us, he's taking care of us. He's opening the roads for us, available for us all the time. Because we really, as an Egyptian government, not just as a travel agent, as an Egyptian government, we care so much about tourism, because tourism is the number one source for foreign currency for Egypt. So it's a very important issue for us. The safety of tourists, is a very important issue for us. And definitely, as you said yourself, I can't find a better argument than how welcoming. They can ask anyone who came to Egypt over here about how welcoming and how friendly people are to all nationalities. Any people of any nationality, and they are very welcoming and very friendly towards them all the time.
Thank you. Yeah, I really like the mention of the bus escort and the opening the roads. I think this will also be a selling point with the safety, because that's a concrete, tangible thing that is not my opinion. So thank you for mentioning that. And you always have that with groups that are private and using your buses, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
No, you're welcome. Well, I'd like to thank you all very much. And till we meet again in our next Zoom meeting, because there's maybe one or two even before I travel to the States. We'll have a couple of maybe one or two Zooms before I travel to the States, and I'll be more than happy to see you in the States. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.